Alex Heitman was a month away from becoming a first-time father and on his way to a PhD when he died in the summer of 2011. Those who knew him said the 29-year-old enjoyed life. Yet authorities ruled the Adams County native's death a suicide. Now, nearly 3.5 years later, his parents still don't believe it, and they're not alone. There were errors on his death certificate, a lack of evidence, and a criminal investigation where Alex was a key witness. News 3 investigative reporter Adam Schrager has more.
It's like a story you'd see on a 48 Hours mystery, only Don and Annette Heitman feel like this story's not even close to being over. This happened in eastern Tennessee, outside of Knoxville, and that's only made getting answers to their questions even more challenging. Fundamentally, though, really only one question matters. What happened to Alex Heitman? Still photos don't seem to fit the active lifestyle Alex Heitman led.
He really enjoyed life.
And yet there is no video. Alex's story is now told in past tense.
There's a man, DOA, he shot himself in the head.
It was the summer of 2011, and Don and Annette Heitman had just seen their son at his wife's baby shower 6 weeks earlier. He'd been worried about his job in Tennessee as a school finance officer.
And he said, you know, if I lose my job, or anything happens, can you and Dad help out? And we told him, sure, lots of people lose their jobs and go through a rough time and need help. That's not a problem, and that we would be there for him.
Alex had recently reported to police a check fraud scheme costing the school district thousands of dollars.
He said that if we did business like this in Wisconsin, he'd be in jail.
He was a month away from being a first-time father, studying for his PhD, and then Alex was dead.
Basically, they told us it was a suicide.
But suicide did not square with their memories of Alex, and neither did the details. He was found more than an hour from his home in a location the GPS on his car and phone had never registered before.
How does a person end up 80 miles from his home out in the absolutely middle of nowhere?
And then there was the crime scene. Police were there for 5 hours, but there were no fingerprints taken, no ballistics report, no details at all. It took the Heitmans 2 years of asking and filing open records requests to finally get the incident report surrounding Alex's death. And in the segment where it asks for the who, what, when, where, how, and why of what happened, it's blank.
You wonder, how can somebody be on the scene of a crime for 5 hours and not have any kind of a report of what happened?
Further, nearly every official record, including the death certificate, has the wrong name on it.
That's what makes it so hard to believe all this. I mean, we just, how do you comprehend all the mistakes?
And now the coroner who worked on Alex's case has been suspended for manipulating crime scenes.
I don't know. Kind of lost the words for that one.
So for the last 3.5 years, they've kept asking questions. And they're not alone.
The people down there want answers, too. They want the answers just as bad as we do.
They have every right to the questions they're asking. And if I was in their shoes, I would be asking the same questions.
Trina Bond is a city council member in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, where Alex worked for the schools. She's leading an effort to have that city's police force share more information with the Heitmans.
There's a million questions we want answered, but yeah, it all boils down to what happened to Alex. What happened to Alex Heitman?
Did his whistleblowing cost him his life? Or was he worried he'd lose his job and depressed to the point of suicide? His parents, 3.5 years later, still can't answer why.
We just don't know. I mean,
we don't have any really solid answers as to what happened to him.
We spoke with Alex Heitman's widow, who says she believes it was a suicide and that well after Alex died, she had found a suicide note on his computer. Complicating matters, last summer, the school district where Alex worked released an audit showing he'd allegedly taken funds for an iPad and to continue his education without approval. His parents, though, say there has been no documentation to support that.
All right, an unbelievable story. Try to keep finding some answers here. Adam, thank you very much.
Thank you.